Day 1. Taehyung and Y or N were driving home from hospital. Y or N was staring outside the window thinking Taehyung must be hungry. He doesn't eat anything properly since yesterday, so she asked, Y or N? Taehyung, he hummed in response, aren't you hungry? Taehyung wasn't feeling hungry. He was feeling nothing except for worry and fear. He's so afraid to lose her, he doesn't know how he'll survive if she leave him like this. In few hours he lost his appetite. He lost his sleep, everything. Just the thought of her leaving this world, eating him from inside. Now he want nothing but a long, happy life for his wife. Even it's not him, but he wants her to live. He hold her hands, which were resting on her lap, with one hand and spoke, Taehyung, you want to eat something? She nodded a little. I'll make something delicious for you as the outside food is not healthy. Taehyung placed the food in front of Y or N and sit beside her. Y or N looked at his empty plate and spoke, Y or N, let me serve you. She started placing the food in his plate. Taehyung looked down at the food. He doesn't have appetite. He knows that food will not go down his throat. Y or N, why aren't you eating? She asked, seeing him playing with the food. Taehyung, I am not feeling like eating, he said, looking at his plate. Suddenly a spoonful of food come in front of his lips. He looked up and saw Y or N is holding the spoon with a smile. Y or N, here, let me feed you. Taehyung slowly opened his mouth and eat the food by Yn's hand. His eyes were burning like tears wanted to come out but they couldn't. Taehyung gulped the food but failed to gulp the lump on his throat. Day 2. Taehyung couldn't sleep for 2 nights. He spent his whole night holding Y or N in his arms, praying for her. Now it's already morning. He gives Y or N a peck on her forehead and get up from the bed after fixing the duvet over her. He walked towards the balcony and looked up at the sky. The sun is slowly rising, making the earth red. The environment is calm and silent, but there's a storm happening inside him. He looked down at his hand, which were placing on the railing. His eyes were stuck in his wedding ring, which was decorated. In his slim finger, he closed his eyes and all the memories flash. Inside his mind, as if it's yesterday, a little girl walked inside their house holding her father's hand. At first, she was so afraid that she was tightly gripping her father's shirt. Then her father told her to play with Taehyung. He took her to the garden and he could clearly remember how her doe eyes were sparkling seeing the flowers. Soon the little girl grew up. He remembered how she used to blush every time seeing him. And then in a blink, their wedding day come. He remembered how she slides the ring on his finger with his trembling hands. And that day she became his life partner, his other half. He remembered how he used to beat her like a beast without any reason. Her painful scream, her begging started echoing inside his head, making his heart tear into uncountable pieces. He never gave her the happiness she deserved, but the girl gives her everything to him. One day he realized the girl become his life, his everything. He feel like he couldn't even breathe without her. But he's late, too late. Now he could do nothing but just pray for her long and happy life. He just wants to make her life beautiful and fill them with happiness. Nothing else. Taehyung doesn't know from how long he's standing here, but he flinched, feeling something moving in his waist. He looked down and saw 2 small arms are wrapping around his waist, making his smile a little. Y or N, husband, aren't you going to office today? She asked, resting her head on his back. Taehyung, I take leave from office. Dad will take care of my work, he said, placing his hands over hers. Yn, did you take the leave for me, hubby? Taehyung, you can say that. Y or N, it means you're spending some times with me, she asked excitedly, standing beside him. Taehyung nodded with a smile. Y or N, okay, then let's go and watch some movies. Taehyung, but before that you have to eat breakfast and take medicines. Day 3. After dinner, Y or N was sitting on the bed waiting for Taehyung to come in the room. After few minutes he walk in and sit beside Y or N in the bed. Taehyung, why didn't you sleep yet? Y or N, I was waiting for you. Saying that, she cupped his both cheek with her hands and make him look at her. Y or N, just look at your soul, hubby. You're looking like a zombie. Red eyes, dark circles under them, dried lips, pale skin. I don't want a zombie husband, she said with a pout. Y or N take a lip balm from the bedside table and applied it on Taehyung's lips. Y or N, now they're looking juicy, she said and winked at Taehyung, making him blush. Y or N, You need a good sleep, baby. Come here, I'll make you sleep. Saying that, she made him laid down on her lap. Taehyung's heart jumped a bit, feeling her soft lap under his head. He felt heaven. Yn started caressing his ears. Soon Taehyun fall asleep, feeling so much love and comfort. Yn was staring at her husband's sleeping face. She doesn't know why he broke this much after knowing about her illness. Is he guilty or he's in love with her? Yn doesn't have the courage to ask him that he love her or not. But once he told her that he'll never love her, so it means it's regret which made him like this. Day 4. Dr. Park. Okay, Mrs. Kim, see you after 3 days. And don't be afraid, you have to stay strong. Yn nodded her head slowly. Taehyung do handshake with the doctor and leave his office, wrapping his arms around Yn's shoulder. While driving back home, Yn asked him something. Yn, Tae, I want to visit my parents, can you take me there please? Taehyung looked at her for some moments and then nodded his head. He drive his car to the graveyard. Yn, see, this is my mom, she said, pointing her finger to her mother's grave. Mom, this is Taehyung, my husband. Taehyung sit down beside Yn in front of her mother's grave. Taehyung, hey mom, thank you so much for bringing Yn in this world, he said, smiling a little. Yn look at him and smile. Yn then turn her head towards her father's grave. Yn, how are you, Dad? I miss you so much. Saying that, she started crying. Taehyung quickly take her in his embrace. She cried for some times, hitting her face in her husband's embrace. After some times, she stopped crying and raised her head, resting her chin on Taehyung's chest. Yn look at Taehyung's face. Yn, I never saw my mom. I don't know how she talked, how she smelled. My dad gave me everything, but sometimes I really wanted to feel motherly love. Yn, I know it's not possible in this life, but Tae, bury me next to my mother. I want my grave beside her. Hearing this, Taehyung hugged her more tightly and kissed her head multiple times. Taehyung, you talk too much. If I heard anything like this next time, I will cut your tongue. Yn chuckle in his embrace. At night, Yn was laying on Taehyung's chest, and Taehyung was playing with her ears. Yn, Taehyung, Yn, you promise me that you'll take me to the amusement park. Taehyung, we'll go there after your recovery. Yn, no, I want to go tomorrow. Taehyung sign. Taehyung, alright. Yn, ye, my good hubby. Yn smile and peeked his lips. Day 5. Taehyung, baby, wake up. Taehyung opened his eyes and sawYn's leaning towards him. He sat up with a thud. Taehyung, what happened? Are you okay? Are you feeling sick? Should I call the doctor? Yn, hey, relax, calm down. I'm fine. I wake you up because it's morning already and we have to go to the amusement park. Taehyung sighed and leaned back. His soul almost left the body. At amusement park, Taehyung doesn't allow Yn to any dangerous ride as her health was not good, but they ride on a merry-go-round and Ferris wheel. Taehyung brought her so many soft toys and cotton candy. Yn was extremely happy and Taehyung was happy seeing her happy. How such small things can make this girl so much happy. Taehyung knows he won't survive if something happened to her. Day 6. Yn, not like this, baby. Pour the dry ingredients another bowl, then mix them together. Here they are making cake. Yn wanted to eat chocolate cake and Taehyung decided to make one for her as the outside food is not good for her. But he doesn't know how bake a cake, so Yn is instructing him. But here Taehyung is messing everything. Yn, hubby, you accidentally dropped the eggshell on the bowl, remove it. Taehyung tried to remove the piece of eggshell with a chopstick. But he accidentally made the bowl upside down and the whole egg fall on the kitchen counter. Yn, hubby, you're such a mess. Look what have you done with my beautiful kitchen. She angrily throws some flour towards him. Taehyung coughed because of the flour and his ears turn white. Yn, look, my father give me married to an old man, saying that she started laughing, my old hubby. Taehyung slowly pour some flour and Yn's head. Taehyung, old hubby's old wifey, he said, rubbing his nose against hers. They both started laughing, but suddenly Taehyung started crying while laughing and hugged Yn tightly. Yn helplessly caresses his ears with glossy eyes. Day 7. Tomorrow is YN's surgery. Lisa and Taehyung's parents came to visit them. They said sweet words to Y or N and tried their best to give her courage. Now it's night already. Lisa and Taehyung's parents left few hours ago. Taehyung and Y or N is now sitting on the backyard silently. YN's head is resting on Taehyung's shoulder. Y or N is scared and nervous, but Taehyung is more scared than her. The pain, the unbearable heaviness in his heart which he's feeling since the day he got to know about YN's illness is increasing every minute. Taking deep breath, he's inhaling YN's smell to calm himself down. The night is beautiful. The full moon is shining perfectly. Slow winds were touching their face and blowing their air. Few fireflies were roaming here and there. The night is dreamy. They doesn't want this night to end. Y or N, Taehyung, can you hold me tightly? He quickly wrapped his arms around her and engulfed her in his embrace. Taehyung, if it's possible, I'd take you in a world where time never move, and there I'll hold you in my embrace for forever. YN chuckle at his words. Y or N, since when you started speaking cheesy line? Taehyung, just smile at her. Taehyung, Y or N, I want to tell you something. Y or N, yes, I'm listening. Taehyung, Y or N, he's sign, I'll tell you after the surgery. We have an unfinished date. YN smile. YN, what if I never wake up after the surgery? She looked at Taehyung and found him glaring at her. Taehyung, didn't I forbid you to speak nonsense? Now let's go inside. You need rest. Y or N, I want to stay here for some times. It's calming here in this place in your arms. Next day. Today is YN's surgery. The doctors do some tests and now Y or N is sitting on the chair. Taehyung is sitting on the floor in front of Y or N. He cupped her both cheeks with his hands. Taehyung, don't be afraid, everything will be fine, he said with a forced smile and kissed her forehead, but deep inside he's more afraid. Lisa, our Y or N is strong, right? Y or N nodded with a big smile. Taehyung's mom caresses YN's ear lovingly. Dad, you'll win the war, brave Y or N fighting, he said, making Y or N giggle. Just then, the nurse comes. Taehyung get up from the floor and help Y or N to stand up. The nurse take Y or N to the operation theater. Taehyung and Y or N slowly leave each other's hand. Y or N smiled brightly and waved at them before going inside. The OT. Taehyung, fall back on the chair and look down. Taehyung, Mom, Dad, if I do something bad to myself, please forgive me, and Alyssa take care of Mom and Dad. His mother and sister started crying hearing what he meant. They fall on his legs. Mom, Taehyung, my son, please don't do something stupid. Think about your mother. Lisa, Taehyung, you have to stay strong. Y or N will be fine. They saw Deer Park going inside the yacht. It's been more than 3 hours. They take Y or N inside the yacht. Everyone is praying for her. Taehyung is sitting on the chair looking at the floor like a statue. After an hour, Deer Park come out for the yacht and spoke. Dr. Park, we successfully take out tumor, but unfortunately it damaged some of her nerves which lead her to coma. Lisa gasped hearing the doctor. Taehyung's mom started crying and his dad feel helpless. Taehyung was just standing there lifelessly. He felt he's falling on the dark hole. Dr. Park, I don't know if she'll ever able to wake up, but if she does, I cannot say she's out of danger, the doctor added and left from there. Taehyung is now standing in front of Y or N. She's laying on the bed with close eyes. They cut her ears. There's a big band-aid around her head. Lots of wires and machines are connected to her which is making small noise. The strong smell of medicine was hitting Taehyung's nose. He looked at YN's face. Her skin tone become dark. Her lips turned white. Her cheekbones were visible. After all this changes, she's still looking beautiful. More beautiful than before. In his eyes, there's no one who's as beautiful as his wife. Taehyung sit beside Y or N and very carefully pecked her forehead. Taehyung, get well soon, my love. I have so many things to tell you. It's been more than a month that Y or N is in coma. Her treatment costs a lot which make Taehyung work like robot. He even sells some shares of his company for her treatment without any hesitation. He work whole day at office and at night he stay in hospital with Y or N. His all tiredness run away just seeing YN's face. He never forget to bring flour for her every day. It was 4 in the morning. Taehyung was sitting beside Y or N holding her hand. His aching heart was feeling an unknown fear. It was saying something bad will happen. He was feeling a lump on his throat. He spoke while caressing her ears. Taehyung, my love, I can't lose you. Please don't give me such big punishment. Please don't give up. He stopped when he felt movement in his hand which was holding Wyan's hand. He saw Wyan's eyelids are moving and soon she slowly opened her eyes. Taehyung was so much amazed that he have no idea what he'll do now. Few drops of tear fall from his eyes unknowingly. Yn look at him and move her mouth, trying to say something. After few tries, a low tune come out from her lips. Yn, hi, I'm Kim. Yn weak smile. Taehyung, I'm Kim. Taehyung teary smile. Yn, nice to meet you. Taehyung, blessed to have you. Yn looked at Taehyung. Taehyung is not as handsome as he used to be. The man who was always neat has become messy. He doesn't go to the salon for a long time. His beard has grown. His hair falls past his neck. The fair face has turned dark. Taehyung looked at Wyan's eyes. He held her hand a little tightly. Taehyung, I need to tell you something unspoken. Yn, don't. Some words are better if they're unspoken, but your eye speaks and you're late. A drop of tear fall from the corner of her eyes. Taehyung slowly wipes it. The room was silent. They were just staring at each other, holding hands. The sun was rising slowly. The gray light of dawn was coming inside the window. The room was filled with the smell of fresh rose which he brought for his wife. Taehyung knew the moment has come. This is their last moment together. But his heart wasn't accepting the fact. Taehyung, Yn, Taehyung, stay. She smiled before saying, Yn, I want to sleep, a long peaceful sleep. Taehyung, but you just wake up. Yn, but that sleep wasn't peaceful. Taehyung, please stay. Yn, I can't. Taehyung, let's stay together till the last page of this book. Yn, this is the last page of this book. Our journey ends here. Write a new chapter with a new character.
The only main character in my life was you, is you, and will be you. The book of my life ends here with you, my love.